Hello and welcome to Dolphin Dive, the weekly strategically minded Handelabra stream hosted by Logic Dolphin. Handelabra believes in civil rights for everyone and in being as inclusive as possible, so any comments or activity actively working against those goals are not welcome and will not be tolerated. Handelabra products include Sentinels of the Multiverse, Sentinels of Earth Prime, Bottom of the Ninth, One Deck Dungeon, One Deck Galaxy, Aeon's End, Spirit Island, and Horizons of Spirit Island, all available on Steam, iOS, and Android devices. One Deck Dungeon is also available on Switch, and you can find more information on those games at handelabra.com. Dolphin is about to dive! Here I am for my weekly dive! And I'm playing One Deck Galaxy! So I like to do random, because otherwise I'll just stick with old habits. So random.org help me generate two numbers between 1 and 5. You've given me 2 and 4. Oh boy! We have the Felici, starting with 5 energy, 2 materials, 3 diplomacy, and crystals. Base milestone is to have 12 fleets. Their base tech, noble efficiency. Resolve up to 2 location rows, then discard any dice and discs used. The Mathematician Society. These are, well, this one's slightly different than the one that appears in the physical game so far. End of turn, have exactly 15 influence at Discovery Zone locations. End of turn, have exactly 11 science and exactly 11 fleets. Action, discard dice totaling exactly 66. There's a lot of exactlies in there, because as mathematicians, you have to be very precise. Special rule, dice in your pool with the value in storage can be used to fill a small box of any color and value. In the tech, precise calculations. Roll a die from the pool and place it in storage. You may spend a fleet to calibrate it. Or with Federation level 3, roll a die from the pool and place it in storage. You may spend up to 2 fleets to calibrate it. Or at Federation level 5, place a die from your pool in storage, set it to any value. So that can be used to fill a small box of any color and value. Probably not the easiest society, in my opinion. These are not automatically transpired milestones. You have to really work for those. Hello, Buka Chaka! Any news on Jagged Earth or Nature Incarnate? Well, I do know that Jagged Earth is in development. That's all I know. I do not work for Handelabra, I just stream for them. But it has been stated that they will announce Jagged Earth stuff once it is available to be seen on preview content. I do not believe it is stated for release in 2023, however. And Nature Incarnate is too early for, but I'm sure after Jagged Earth, they will have plans for Nature Incarnate because Spirit Island is great. All right, the adversary. Last week we did 2 optimization calibrators, random number generator. What are you giving me? Number 3, the Hungry Nebula. So they have a swell. Instead of adversary events, we have swell effects. Exile 2 dice from the supply, spend 2 influence from locations in play, spend 2 fleets, spend a science card from the starbase, and exile tech star or a starbase token. Wait, what's that flapping? Oh, it's Hugin and Mugen. They just delivered some H20 or H2O. Sorry, H2O from Meredith's lab. What's that flapping? Ah! I am hydrated. Thank you. Do apologize if there's a sound of a fan in the background as I just turned my desk fan on. If it is really disruptive, let me know. I'll turn it off. I just need a little bit of air right now. Anyway, yeah, they have swells. At the end of the results phase, the Hungry Nebula swells X times, starting at 3, after the first confrontation 2, after the third confrontation 1. For each swell, players must choose one swell effect. Each chosen effect must be able to be fully executed, so you can't fizzle. Effects cannot be repeated during a turn. If no effect can be chosen, discard 3 cards from the deck instead for each such swell. Well, ain't that swell? If there are 4 influence on the adversary, you swell an additional time and then discard 4 influence from the adversary. So it could be 4 swells that you have to deal with. But the first confrontation brings that down to 2, and it's more manageable. If you have to escalate, the adversary gains 2 influence. If there are 4 cards in the discovery zone at the start of the phase, the adversary gains an influence, so you do have to be pretty active in this game. And after executing the swells for the turn, you are overwhelmed if the number of exiled adversary events is at least as high as your Federation level. So if you do not make progress on your Federation level after the first exiled adversary event, then you will lose the game. I forgot to mention that when the deck is reshuffled, instead of revealing an adversary event, you exile one of the swell effect cards below the adversary. If none are present, you are overwhelmed. So instead of events, you have swells that you have to deal with. All right, makes sense. Let's play. Let's go for it. Let's do it. All right. And as always, feel free to ask questions if you're unfamiliar with the game or how it works or what I'm doing. I'll try to be as vocal as I can, but I'm not going to try to be tutorial-y, although I tend to be tutorial-y. This die is off to the side for some reason. Who knows why? Great, we have Ocean 1 to start with, so studying this, you have to discard 3 cards. We also have the Solidarians, which require a lot of science, and a pretty solid roll, of which we do not have. So that kind of stinks. Roll a die from the pool, place it in storage. You may spend a fleet to calibrate it. Is it from my pool or the supply? I guess it's from my pool. Yeah, so. Otherwise I would say supply. So that's kind of what makes the skill kind of stink. You have to waste 1 of your dice to do it. And this also differs from the physical game currently, because in the physical game, you place a die from your pool into a value 5+ in the storage, I believe. At Federation level 3, you place a die of value 3+ in the storage, and at Federation level 5, you place any die in the storage. You don't do any calibrating to it. Well, though you could actually calibrate it in advance. Here they modified it that you roll a die from any one of these dice and you put it in your thingy. But that could still fizzle. Like if I take this 1 and I roll it and it becomes a 1, that kind of stinks. I could calibrate it to make it become a 2, but that already kind of stinks. 3 would be pretty rich. 6 would fizzle. But yeah. Let's see. Dice in your pool with the value in storage can be used to fill a small box of any color and value. So that could be used to do 5, 5, 6 if it were 3s, for instance. But we still don't have 6 science that we can use. Noble Efficiency allows us to resolve 2 location rows and gain the influence and discard dice and discs used. But that would mainly be if we want to like accelerate the influence that we get on these. Can't afford the science on that one. We could afford the fleets, but I'm not sure that we would want to go for that. We do have to get rid of one of these cards in some capacity, probably by studying, because otherwise the adversary gains an influence. And we do want to gain fleets. We want to gain science in fleets. Maybe we can get 11 science, 11 fleets, and then the 12 fleets. So let's start off. I would say we should just gain as many science and fleets as possible. We don't want Ocean 1, maybe. Studying that will force a discard of dice. So if I put all my dice in here, we will have 10 dice. Played a definitive edition game against Apex recently. Team was Legacy, Captain Cosmic, first edition Techan, or I don't know what FA is. Expatriate. Game ended with Expatriate basically using 3 powers, and she ended up sending Apex to the Shadow Realm in 1 turn. Nice. I've not played enough definitive edition to be able to know all the changes and all the effects and all the villains and all the stuffs. But yeah, cool. Let's see, so it's 5 dice to get these 2. That will put us at 7 science. For swell effects, we can't spend influence from locations if we're not getting any influence. We can spend fleets, we can spend a science card. So the third would be either exile a tech star or 2 dice, maybe the tech star. Tech disc, whatever, because we have 12 of them and we never really use 12. We could also choose to exile 2 dice if we want to keep the science, but we don't necessarily need this 2 science right there. So let's see. Fleets. Fleets. And then to do the science thing. Okay, 2 fleets. Tech disc. And then the worst science card. I didn't even think about confronting. 6, 16 is kind of rough though. Terra Infirma is here. Still don't have enough science for that because we spent the science. Let's roll. Okay. Again, if we rolled a 3 with precise calculations, that'd be pretty rich. This side needs science and diplomacy and materials. This needs energy and materials. Roll doesn't seem good enough for that. Although we could put the precise calculations matching dice in the 6s maybe, but our materials is not good enough for that still. If I'm studying Rice Twin if I want to avoid discarding 3 dice, but these are kind of brutal right now. Let's see. If I do the 5 fleets like that, that puts me at 10 fleets. We need either 12 or exactly 11. And if we study Rice Twin, we'll be at 8 science. We'd actually need 3 more. 3 more science, 1 more fleet, but we're not really, we're not able to get an additional fleet other than doing this. Plus, we're going to be spending 2 for the swell anyway. All dice here must be the same value. Well, ain't that swell? Can't really do anything about that. Dice in your pool with value storage can be used to fill a small box of any color and value, but you still have to pay attention to the restrictions. So, if we did get 3 rolled off noble efficiency, or not, sorry, precise calculations, then we would be able to fill 4 of these, because we do have 4 3s, but we're not really going that route. Plus, we do have to get rid of one of these cards to avoid an additional influence on the adversary. The problem is just that we have 2 extra dice, and we don't really know what to do with that. I don't really like putting it in the 1 fleet row, because that is 2 dice for 1 fleet, which is really bad economy. The 2 and the 3 are each 1 die per fleet, so it's 5 fleets for 5 dice. If I spend 2 dice for 1 fleet, that's like a ripoff. I'm spending twice as much for that fleet. Although certainly, the question is, what am I going to do with the dice anyway? We really just need the signs if we want to deal with Solidarians or Terra Infirma. So what if I were to put some dice aside to do a probe? Now we have 1 extra die. 3 for Rice Twin, 3 for probe. And that's 1 extra die. Which I still can't do much with. It's kind of sad. Yeah, we really need science. Tempted to study Ocean 1. Just because discarding 3 cards is probably better than leaving that in play and having it waste a slot in my locations. I think we're not going to do the science card this time. We'll exile 2 dice. Just so that we can save the science for maybe Solidarians or Terra Infirma next turn. If you trigger Benchmark's cooling system, you can send some of it Absolute Zero's way. Yep. Anytime a hero can deal cold damage, you can always direct it to Absolute Zero. Also fire damage. Such as Ra dealing fire damage, you can always hit Absolute Zero. And if he has, you know, whatever is the one that increases Absolute Zero's cold damage by 1, then you can actually profit a hit point off of it if you so desire. If you don't really want to do the damage part, assuming you have the modules, of course. I don't know how I can use this die. Like, I could try to spend it on precise calculations, but there's not really any reason to, because I can't do Solidarians, I can't do Terra Infirma. I don't have the dice for energy nets, because 16 energy I just can't do. I can't do research teams, because I don't have 7 science. I'm studying this. I don't have the diplomacy for Ocean 1. I think it's just a waste of a die. Okay, I'm at 10 science. I don't want to upgrade because I want 11 science, and I want to spend science on Solidarians or Terra Infirma, assuming I have a decent roll. So 2 fleets, tech disc, 2 dice, and we can do 2 ultra tech dice. Those are less commonly used. Oh great, we have another encounter. Flippin' fantastic. And of course it requires science. Well, let's see. We do have a 5, we do have a 6. We can get an Ultra Tech 5 if we want to cover that. We can also do the 7 if we kind of swing and miss. 22 is probably way too hard. Probably not happening there. So I think we're definitely doing this. The question is, do I want to do an Ultra Tech die or get lucky on a roll? These dice are a bit more haphazardly spread, though. So if I roll, say, this 2, it's guaranteed to hit one of these numbers, and I could then use it. But it's not really any different than just using... Oh, I also have this 5. If I roll that 2, I'm guaranteed to hit one of these numbers then. If it's a 3, that's ideal, because then I could use that somewhere else. Where else? I am not sure. Because I won't have the science for Terra Infirma. I guess I have to study Ocean 1 this turn, actually. If I want to have the science to consider taking Terra Infirma, I need that. Because I'm spending 6 science here. Oh, Nikes. I just realized I don't have 2 discs. I can't do that. I don't have 2 discs. Okay. Solidarians is gonna go off then. Can't do anything about that. I can do this one though. That's the only way to spend it precisely, and therefore I don't need to do the roll. So Solidarians is going to escalate, and I can't stop that because I don't have two Starbase discs. Yeah, I forgot about that. Organic reactor, roll materials. If you have 3 fruits, set up the 2 dice to 6. I'll probably just take the energy and materials. That will be a bit better for me. By taking this, we are removing a card, so I don't necessarily need to study Ocean 1. We are going to get 4 science off of Solidarians, at least. Because when that escalates, we do get the card as science. So that's good news at least. So what dice do I have left? 6 dice. I could make it 1 more die if I do that. So I can have 7 dice. Because I'm not really using dice anywhere else. My colors aren't really lining up for this adversary at all. That kind of stinks. I mean, what I could do instead is confront. So I do have 5 and 5. And we did just spend 7 science, so I do have 7 science I could spend on that. I think I would rather get the dice, though, off of this. Because that's an extra energy, extra material, and that will make it easier to deal with down the road. So I'm going to keep that there. Let's study Ocean 1. Because I'm just not able to deal with it. And if I want 6 or 7, I need more science, so I'm going to do another probe. And that's an extra, like I have 1 extra die again. Of course I do. Alright. But now that I have 2 extra dice, it should be easier to figure out how to make progress in this game. No, I will not upgrade. In off-topic news, I've been playing Idol Showdown and trying to get better with Pecora. I do not know what Idol Showdown is. I do not have 2 science. Let's get rid of a materials and a diplomacy because I don't have as many of those dice. I want to keep my science so I can either confront or deal with the uplifters. Alright, now the adversary has that 6 influence, and that's kind of tragic. But maybe now we can make progress in this game. The deck is at 8, and we've not, like, gotten our Federation level up at all. This could be a quick game. Because I've been spending fleets every turn and not really able to use them. Do we have 22 diplomacy? The answer is of course not, so uplifters is kind of just gonna go off, and I can't do anything about that. These are a bit easier to manage. We could even gain Vo this turn, I think. Maybe. Yeah. Like we can gain 2 influence there and then use noble efficiency to get those influence, but also claim another influence row and get it. So that's not bad then. We do have to think about Federation levels though. And it's kind of tragic because I have to get fleets, I have to get science, I have to get fleets. I really need fleets. We could also confront. I probably should just confront. That's 1 less swell effect, and we are going to be swelling a lot now. So let's study one of these. I think I'm gonna study. Oh, I guess they're both foes, huh? We also need to get as many fleets as we can. So I'm gonna prioritize fleets. Study Vo and do a probe. Because we do want to get 11 science somehow. We'll be at 9 fleets. Okay. Is one of these better than the other? Roll materials or spend 2 fleets to gain material 6, Ultra Tech 3. Gain a diplomacy 6 or spend 2 fleets to roll 2 diplomacies and an Ultra Tech. I think I would rather take this skill, or that tech rather, so let's get rid of that card. Do the probe. I'm at 11 science. So now we can get to the 11 science, 11 fleets. So to make that easier, let's not spend fleets if we can avoid it, but I don't think we can because exile a tech discs, exile another set of 2 dice, and then I have to do another swell because I have 4 influence. And I have to, like, I think having exactly 11 science is harder than exactly 11 fleets. Although I can just take this Vo as science. Because, like, I have to finagle 11 out of these fleets. And if I spend 2, I'm at 7. Getting to 11 requires 4. I'd have to use the 1. That's kind of bad. So let's do the 2. This game is not going swell. Huh? We're gonna get a reshuffle soon, which is not good. It's gonna be a thin reshuffle, but that's because I have to have so many cards under the starbase. Which is another bad thing about the mathematicians. All of these milestones require a lot of cards. I guess this one technically doesn't, but it's really hard. But these require a lot of cards to be in play, which makes decks thinner, which makes reshuffles faster, which means you lose faster. All right, so I need 2 science, 2 fleets, and probably either exile 2 dice and exile a tech disc, or exile tech disc and exile a science, or spend a science card. So maybe I gain these 2 science cards, gain 2 fleets, and then I don't know what else, unless I can somehow cover the 25, which I can't. I'm not spending 4 fleets, or not getting this. So, like, we're wasting a lot of dice this turn. It's kind of terrible. But all in the name of Federation levels. I guess I don't know, but I'm spending one of these as a science card from the starbase, right? So I just need 2 fleets. And I need to gain these 2 science cards. I guess if I'm just wasting dice, I might as well get 4 fleets. But that will trigger the reshuffle. But I mean, like, the reshuffle's happening no matter what. If I can spend 2 fleets, I can spend 2 science. I have a wasted 3 dice. Is what's happening. But I can't do anything about it because I can't do the SS Sunlight and I can't do all of these things. I have, like, not done anything in this game other than gain fleets and science. And now I have to get rid of one of these, or not really getting rid of it. Well, no, I can get rid of the dice. I think we're not going to exile dice anymore. Okay, so I got 12 fleets, which is good. Okay. And then don't upgrade. Spend 2 fleets, spend science card. Wait. Wait. That end of turn check was not what I wanted it to be. I can't undo past that. Well, that's rude. Okay. When is end of turn? End of turn. Have exactly 11 science, 11 fleets. I thought I accomplished that, but I guess end of turn doesn't mean end of the turn. It's end of your turn. I don't know. At least we got the 12 fleets. That's fine. But yeah, that should have been end of turn, but whatever. Excuse me. Another 2 influence for the adversary. Fantastic. Flippin' fantastic. Deck is at 16 cards. Very low roll. All right, so spend 2 fleets, spend a science card can be used to make sure that we get to 11-11. Well, no, because that happens freaking later. Okay, I have to spend 4 science. All right, I'm gonna roll my 4 card just so I have 4 science. Ugh. This is so terrible. And I'm not going to gain any fleets or science this turn. I also don't want to spend any of these. Can I gain this? All dice here must be different values. Ugh, that's the worst. All right, let's do this. Roll this. It's a 4. I'm not spending a fleet to calibrate it, but now 4s can be used to fill any small square. Problem is I still have to obey the rule that all dice have to be different values. So like, if I try to do it this way, I can't really cover the 10 at this point. Like, impossible. I could confront. Doesn't really serve much purpose, but I could confront. It's not going to serve much purpose because it's just going to leave the number of swells at 2. But the problem is I'm trying to get to 11-11, and that's not happening right now. The other possibility is, I guess I can't spend enough of these, but I can regain like the fleets back, and then that end of turn check should happen. Surely that like happens after the star base, right? Inversion storage is really nice, just to get set numbers for the dice. So I do kind of want that. And I mean, like, I also want to make sure that we empty out one of these cards so that the adversary doesn't gain extra influence. So if I were to study Chelonis, then I could put the thing there. And with that 4, I could use any die. Spend the 3. We want 3 dice. We have 8 left over. And I really want to, I guess we have a lot of dice. I could create Ultra Tech dice. So let's leave the 2s in there. We only need 3 dice to be in there to get Chelonis. So we have these dice left over. 4 can be used once. So maybe I could try to cover the 10 first. So like if I spend these... I can't really do that. Yeah, this roll is so stupid. And my roll is so stupid. I could use not that die, I guess. But still. It's probably just easier to gain that influence. And ignore the rest. We're studying Chelonis, so I'm not doing anything with that. Because I could gain this again by doing this and ignoring the 10. That's really the best I could do there. 25 materials is too high. I could also work on the 10 instead of the 3, but like there's no purpose to that because like it's the same influence either way. Don't want to make any progress on that. Can't do anything there. Can't do anything else there. We're getting the science card to make up for the difference. Can't do anything there. So I guess my science is done. Yay, 11-11. Okay, so we don't care about fleets anymore. And I have to do another frickin' swell. Fine. Ubiquitous franchising might help a lot with getting the other milestone for influence. Two would be a really nice roll for precise calculations if we're going that route. 6 would be okay, but 6s are already okay. Can also just put these 6s in over here. And then, I mean, we're still at Federation level 1, so I can't do both of those. I do this instead. Confront, spend 9 science. I guess it's progress. Sure. Let's roll this and see what it is. Well, ain't that a waste? I'm gonna calibrate it. We're at Federation level 2, so I can actually, or sorry, Federation level 3, so I can spend 2 fleets to calibrate it. Not that I will, but I do want to put this in there. I claim Gurn. That takes it off of the discovery zone, so we're not gaining an extra influence for that. Can't do that. Can't do that. So the rest would be Starburger, and that's no dice with values 1, 2, 3. Kind of stinks, because all my remaining dice are 1, 2, 3. Ain't that grand? So I can spend 2 fleets to do that, which, I mean, I'm fine getting rid of my fleets at this point. Nope, I can't just do that. 2 fleets. Whatever. Sunk cost fallacy. But yeah, I want to get rid of the cards under the starbase just because, like, we have to spend so many cards even on, like, gaining enough influence. Good news is that these cards can hold a lot of influence on them, so we can get 15 influence by just doing that, I guess. We are at 0 science though, and I don't really like that. Starbase is still at class 1. Don't like that. I could study SS Sunlight. Other than spending 4 fleets for 1 influence, this 2-2 is really nice for 2 influence. And with Noble Efficiency, I can actually resolve that twice. Alright, screw it. Science is out. Science is out. Move all of your investments to data core or something. I don't know. Extra die. Sad. Actually, oh, but all dice there have to be different values. Damn it. I could try to do that, but I can't. All right. You found the Baron Blade music video on YouTube. Apparently Adam dressed up like him in full cosplay. I'm not that surprised. Roll an energy or spend 2 fleets to gain an energy 5, energy 3, energy 2. Don't really need that. Let's take the diplomacy die. Let's not study that. I want to keep it. And we're doing 2 things. I can't do a science card, so I do fleets. And we are at 7 tech discs, so I can do 1 more. We are doing 1 more swell this turn. Okay. 25-25. Not super likely to happen. Hello, Seamus. Welcome. Okay, so if I do precise calculations, I would really like to roll 4 or 5. Let's do this. Decide if I want to resolve that in a second. We do have a really good roll for Starburger. I want to have exactly 15 influence. I don't really want to claim Starburger. On the other hand, ubiquitous franchising helps with getting 15 influence down the road, but I might not want to actually do that. Because that is a lot of cards that put under cards. On the other hand, diplomacy die and 2 tech discs, but we don't really have text to use with them anyway. Do I want Starburger so I can work on the 15 influence? It helps get inversion storage faster, I suppose. So then I can just do this. So that's 8 influence. I do want science. I probably need to start getting fleets again because I am going to be spending for fleets. Let's study Rice Twin. Did I want to do this twice? I was going to, but I don't think I am if I want to get Starburger. There's also, those influences are good for spending for 2 influence from locations in play, so I guess I do want that skill really badly. Tech, whatever. Okay. Take the tech. Study. 2 fleets. I do have to do three swells, so let's get rid of the last tech disc and then spend a science card. The only science card I could. Well, ain't that swell? Alright, we're no longer gonna exile tech discs. We are still alive. The deck is 30 cards. That's a healthy value. We have another Solidarians, and we need the 2 star-based discs if we want to consider doing that, so let's do that. Oh, it's add influence to a location? Oh, I thought it was each. Oh, that sucks. That's worse. That's okay. I'm gonna throw it there. So Ocean 1 is back. I don't have 4 fleets for that this time. Let's see, let's roll one of these ones. It's a 5. 5 is not the number. 5 or 6 is not the number. I can't spend a fleet to calibrate if I wanted to cover the 6, but now I just can't even use it. I can't cover this 6 anymore anyway. Yeah, there's not really any purpose to calibrating after that. It stinks. Alright. Deck's just shoveled, so I can gain a bunch of science and influence and all that. Ocean 1 is back. I do have to get rid of one of these cards. Getting rid of SS Sunlight? The dice would have been nice. Extractqueduct? Rolls an Ultratech die, I guess, would have been cool. It's only one die to study, though. On the other hand, I do want to probably keep it so I can get 15 influence somewhere. Definitely don't have 25-25, right? Like, my roll was really bad for that. Alright, study Ocean 1. Study SS Sunlight. And then gain fleets to pay the cost of the swell. 7 dice. Study, probe, study. Okay, 4 is good because I can upgrade and not waste the science card. I might as well just do this, honestly. That's kind of why we took the tech, but it's not doing what I thought it was doing. But that's fine. The Unseen. Artist and Ultratech is fine at this point. An Ultratech 5 every turn? Alright, well, I can't do Solidarians because I don't have 6 science. We could, like, gain 5 influence on that. Do we happen to have 25? We do not. I keep asking if I'm going to get 25 out of my 3 materials. Yeah, that's never going to happen. I don't have 11 materials, though. Definitely doing that, though. I could make an Ultratech 3. Cover that. So I guess I'm doing that. But yeah, we really need to either discard dice totaling 66 or have exactly 15 influence in order to be able to be capable of winning the game. So study Rise Twin. And then I guess gain 1 fleet. Keep Xfinity. We're not dealing with Solidarians again, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna spend the science card because I'm trying to keep the influence for the Federation level. Okay, so we have Ultra Tech 5. Yay. Influence on Hexfinity. We can gain Vo. Yeah, we can't deal with Solidarians. I guess I'm gonna do precise calculations to see what I can hit with the 6. Because I can do this. So let's roll partial effect. Oh, because I can't calibrate it to its full extent. Let's roll. That was a 5. That's okay because I can use this 5. All right. That puts that at 7 influence. No dice to value 6. Well, that sucks, doesn't it? I'm now sad about the 6s. I think I just need science more. So let's not do that. I'm spending, what, 2 fleets on that? So I do want to be gaining fleets. Seven dice, 4 to study that, 3 to do a probe. Do I study Vo and I spend that as the science card? We are doing all of these swells this time. So if I study Vo, that's 2 dice. Probe is 3 dice. So I have 2 dice left over. If I study Ice Cream, it's 1 die left over. So maybe I just get another thingy. Don't study that. Oh, it wasn't doing an extra thingy. I thought it was. Well, it doesn't matter because you got 2 more influence from that stupid thing anyway. And we are actually going to start losing the game because the number of exiled events is greater than my Federation level. And we're going to be discarding dice because I can't do 3 swells. Ain't that swell? I'm actually going to get rid of that one, honestly, because I need to somehow get 15 influence, and spending influence is not happening. $66? No. I can get 5 influence on here this turn. If I put 1 here, that's 8. 5 there is 13, so I just need 2 more, and I will hit that 15 influence. So 2 more. Easy. It'd have to be over there. I guess I could do noble efficiency to do that. Okay, so that's 5 plus 8 is 13 plus 1 is 15. All right. Yay, we're still alive. I think once I have inversion storage, this game might be a bit easier because I can start doing things better. I think. I don't know. I do need to get rid of one of these cards, so I'm going to study SS Sunlight and get more fleets to pay for stuff. Maybe I want to do a probe. Well, no, because I have 3 fleets. Yeah, so I have 1. Okay. Yay, 15 influence! We can win the game! Yuck. I have 13 dice. In order to discard 66, my average roll needs to be greater than 5. Oh no, that's a 6. That makes it a bit easier, right? Unfortunately, not good enough. I would like to claim these 3 cards this turn. Hexfinity is done. Nom Nomad is done. Vo is done. Alright, so that gains me 3 rewards, and now I should hopefully be able to win the game. Yikes. Definitely taking inversion storage because that's getting me a 5/5/5 guaranteed. And maybe if I get the last thing, which I'm probably not going to spend the effort on. Kaleidoscopic grid to roll more dice? Yeah, that's pretty good. So I would have bought the tech disc on this one because I kind of need techs. I need to be able to support the techs I got. So we're not going to be able to confront. We don't have the dice for that. So study that. Leaves 5 dice. Do a probe. Get 2 fleets. Upgrading would use all my science cards, and I have to keep a science card, so the answer is no. Reshuffle's gonna happen now, though. Yikes. Yikes. And again, my Federation level is too low, so we're gonna have to win the game, like, very, very, very quickly. Aim that. Aim that. I don't have any energy, so I would need to spend it somewhere to be able to roll this to full effect. Good news, though, is I can do that. So I don't necessarily need to do that roll unless for some reason I want to. I probably don't. Definitely need to be able to recover our fleets. Since we're spending at least 2, at most 4. Is it weird this game's music makes you want to sleep because it's relaxing? It is really good music. Okay, let's put an influence on this one. 2 influence, because I'm actually on 4. Interesting, so maybe I don't do that one then. Do it on one of these. Oh, I guess this one actually, because that's the 4 one. Because then I could study it, and that's fine. We only have to do 1 swell, except we do have to do 2 swells because we have 4 influence. I am overwhelmed, but I spent an adversary disc, and I only have 2 left. And we're probably not getting to Federation level 5, although maybe we could if we wanted. Solidarians is back for the 15th time! Gain that. Gain that. Yeah, we could discard 66 to get her Federation level to 5. You forgot it was Thursday from Dracula, no! But if we can just win the game, who cares? I don't think we can necessarily win the game just yet, though. The energy 30 is easy. The material 30 is harder. So I'm 14 off. I do have a number of things here I could get. I do have extra ultra techs. And I am off by 1. If I can do a roll. I am out of ultra text though, so I think I'm just gonna get rid of one of those. Well, I don't have to because I just need that material roll. I don't care about the rest. Okay. All right, we won. I was not expecting to win that. Hungry Nebula has been contained and is no longer a threat to your Federation. Thank you, frickin' mathematicians, for making that hard. Tomorrow is Playtest Day for the custom community. Made a Chrono Ranger variant. You know me. He's a favorite of mine. One of these days I'm gonna get around to setting up my expatriate variant. As soon as I figure out how to set stuff up in the workshop. All right, new game. Again, random. Eventually, I will work up the nerve to do a 2-player game and or a advanced difficulty game. But I'm not comfortable with that yet, honestly. Despite how John says I'm one of the best 1-deck players in the world, I doubt it. 2-5. Felici's Return. And the adversary... Optimization Calibrator, my favorite! We've played them so many times. Alright, so Felici, again, 5 energy, 2 materials, 3 diplomacy, 1 crystal. Their base milestone have 12 fleets. Their base tech, noble efficiency, resolve up to 2 location rolls, then discard any dice and discs used. We have the scientists. Their milestones have 4 activated techs, have 5 activated techs. As an action, spend 7 tech discs, but you can use a starbase token as a tech disc or 2 tech discs as a starbase token. Mobile laboratories, spend a fleet to launch a probe at Federation level 3. Spend a fleet to launch a probe or study a location. Federation level 5, spend a fleet to launch a probe and or study a location. So, very science-based there, very tech-based there, very fleet-based here, so kind of weirdly set up. But yeah, we have the optimization calibrator. The way they work, they have a memory cache. So they store dice during the game. Let's see. Where does it say? For each influence, I do not have it that well. It's off the screen, so I guess I should read it here, I suppose, because it doesn't fall off. So at the end of the results phase, move the dice from the adversary's influence to the adversary card. For each influence that did not have a die, you are overwhelmed once. But as an action, we can cache input. We can move 1 die from my pool to the adversary's influence. Each influence can hold 1 die. These count as if they were in the cache for restrictions. The starting restrictions, you cannot cache a die if there are already at least X dice of its color in the cache. You can only cache a die that is higher than all dice of its color in the cache. So basically you want to start by putting 1s in the cache before going to higher numbers. If they escalate from the encounters, roll a die from the supply and place it in the cache, ignoring all restrictions. And where does it state that we can get these back? Ah, there it is. At the start of the action phase, if the adversary has 4 influence, discard them, choose 3 cached dice, or 4 if there are 10 or more cached dice, and move them to your pool. So you actually get the dice back. But dice that are stored here are not returned to the supply during the results phase. So each die placed using the cache input action must follow all restrictions. Black dice count as their own color when evaluating restrictions. Okay. I like the Felici, but their 1-deck dungeon skill is a bit lackluster. It's not in the digital game, is it? Because I feel like I've seen it, but not... I've seen it physically, as in I saw it online physically. Heroic feat. Oh, so they have 2 strength, 4 agility, 1 mana, so that kind of lines up. A little bit, not actually lines up with this. Heroic feat, daring leap. Roll 3 heroic dice. Place any matching dice, doubles or triples, in your pool. Discard the rest. If no dice were placed in your pool, take a damage and a time. And their base skill, whip strike. Reroll up to 2 dice, or up to 4 if daring leap was used this turn. That's the 1-player version. 2-player version is the same heroic feat. The tech, you and your partner each reroll up to 1 die or up to 2 if daring leap was used this turn. And then their base items are 1 energy, or not energy, 1 strength, 3 agility, 0 mana. So as usual, the 2-player versions of the 1-deck Galaxy Heroes is 1 fewer die of each color. It's really interesting. Like, if you look at 1-deck Dungeon, you start with 7 dice in a single-player game, or if you're playing a 2-player game, each player starts with 4 dice for a total of 8. Which means that sort of 2-player mode is easier than 1-player mode because you have an extra die at the start of the game. It is a little, I guess, harder because your dice can't be shared for skills, but I mean, you have 1 extra die at the start of the game, so like it's a bit easier, right? In One Deck Galaxy, each of these societies start with 10 dice, which is 3 more than the heroes do in One Deck Dungeon. So you have 3 extra dice to start the game with. In 2-player mode, each player starts with 5 dice for a total of 10. So you actually start with the same number of dice in 2-player mode versus 1-player mode. With the caveat that, of course, you can't share the dice for the techs. So, yeah, that's kind of one of the reasons that like 2-player One Deck Galaxy seems like it's a different beast than 2-player One Deck Dungeon, because 2-player One Deck Dungeon feels like it's generally an easier experience because you have more dice to play around with, even more skills by the end, because at level 4 you have 4 items and 4 skills per player, so that's like 8 skills total. But in single player game at level 4, I think it's 7 items, 5 skills. So you have 3 more skills than single player. Of course, you can't split the dice, but still, you have 3 more skills. That's a lot of leeway. Okay, I'm rambling. Start the game. Xfinity, Ocean 1, Terra Infirma, Solwort. Yikes, that's kind of a brutal start. Inversion storage is eventually great, but currently we gain 2s if I go for it. Probably not going to go for it. Ocean 1, if studied, discard 3 cards. Solwort becomes progressively harder. Terra Infirma, but we don't have the science for that yet. But, uh-oh, bug. The music's looping. I didn't notice until the game actually started, so I wonder if that's repeatable. We could get lucky and get the 7 right away. Although, I guess we don't have the 5, but at the same time, we can calibrate and get that, so it's definitely worth doing that. Didn't achieve it. Sadness. Do have the cash to die, probably cash the 1. Because that is the smallest number, and if I were to instead cash, say, a 4, then the next round I would not be able to cash any yellow die that is less than, or is that, I can't cash a yellow die that is 1, 2, 3, or 4. It would have to be 5 or 6. But if it is a 1, then I could put a 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 in. So more options. And again, this die gets resized to be huge. Kind of a weird bug with the cache input. It's just a visual bug as usual. I have no 6s, so I can't deal with Hexfinity, but I'm probably just going to study it. Ocean 1 is probably going to get studied at some point, but maybe not right away. Solwort, kind of indifferent about. Like, it can definitely hit the 10 for 2 influence with 3 dice, which is not that bad of a ratio. If we do decide to go for it, it would give me an energy and the materials. We do want some materials for overloading the grid. We don't need dice for the sat fields. But let's see. I have 9 dice. So if I study Hexfinity, that's 4 dice. Also, we're not necessarily going for societies in this game, because we want, or not societies, colonies, that word. We're not going for colonies in this game because we want techs. So we kind of, every time we claim a location, we're going to go for the tech. Because we can use techs more easily. We can use star-based tokens as tech stars. Can I confront, actually? Confronting would be nice. Because that makes it easier to put dice into cache. I am off by 1. It's like John knew that I would be off by 1. And he intentionally set these dice to be terrible. Thanks, John. All right. Study Hexfinity, that leaves 4 dice. If I want to be able to do Terra Infirma, I don't want to upgrade, so I'll keep the 4. I have 4 dice left over. Why did you do that? Why did you overlap in that way? That's so annoying. Why would you do such a thing? Actually, it's not really overlapping, but it's definitely visually weird. Okay. Oh, I still have this 3 in here. Okay, so if I study Hexfinity, that leaves me with 5 dice. So I could put 3 up here. No, I can't because that's... Well, I mean, I guess I want fleets more than I want science. Because that's a Federation level. Getting to 12 fleets gives me a Federation level, which is good. Okay. Do not upgrade. Wenso. Accelerated study. Launch a probe. Okay, well, my dice suck for caching, actually. I guess I could put the 2 in. I don't have a 1. It's actually a good roll for Terra Infirma, because I can deal with it. So that gives me a materials. If I have 3 plants, set up the 2 dice to 6, but I don't have that. Let's do the probe. Question is, am I going to calibrate this 3 to a 1? I probably am. I'm kind of picky about making sure that my starting die is a 1. It's a waste of 2 fleets, but what can you do? I don't think I want this tech. Science is great and all, but we already have that tech, basically. Sort of. Not 100%. So let's get 2 fleets and study Twenso. Take the tech. Study. I don't really want to upgrade right now. The Unseen. Rapid deployment, gain 2 fleets. Combos with mobile laboratories and my desire for fleets. Alright, so now we really want to put big numbers here if we can. It does mean I'm not really going to get Unseen. I guess might as well do this roll first. Using this tech will only have partial effect. I don't know why. Well, that was a crappy roll. Spend the fleet to do the probe. Yeah, so we could easily get the Unseen. I guess I could put this 4 in, put this 1 in, put this 4 in. It's not really good numbers to get back. I like to put big numbers in this round, but getting rid of the Unseen is nice. I have 3 dice left over. Study stalwart. Like the fleets are gonna come in with rapid deployment more easily. And by studying, or by upgrading, and let's put in the 3-3-2, just so there's more cards in the deck. By upgrading, we can get fleets more easily anyway. Okay. 10 dice, but we're getting 3 back. This would be the turn to confront. If I can get a 5. Well, that's not a 5. Still gonna do it, because I do need to confront at some point. Because we're gonna be forcibly losing the game in like 2 turns if I don't confront. So we're just gonna have to deal with it. Let's calibrate this, I suppose. I'm really bad at managing my fleets this game. It's okay. This isn't a bad roll for Ocean 1, actually. Might as well do that. Assuming I still hit 22. Which I do. I have 1 spare die. I guess I'm gaining a fleet. I'm not studying that. Don't want to upgrade just yet. I guess I should have used this tech so I could have gained the Federation level. Not really any reason to just yet. Let's roll. This die got big. Because I selected it in the middle of rolling, I suppose. Probe. Fleets. Not a good roll for Ocean 1, although I could just get it by spending 5 science on that. Might as well. I will have 2 fuels, so I can gain diplomacy's 3s. Not bad. Lutara is back. Or at least Accelerated Study is back. I can't confront because my Federation level is too low, so I do want to gain that Federation level. So I probably should do it anyway. Let's hit this button. If I can. I guess that means I can't actually do this because I don't have any Starbase discs left. Whoops! That's okay. We have to cash a die. Let's cash the 2. You still remember a slightly embarrassing moment when I fell asleep during an Oblivion stream. Oh dear, are you gonna share what this slightly embarrassing moment was live on stream? Oh my gosh. That technically works for that. I don't really care for that though, that's a lot of dice. I guess just give him fleets. We're upgrading the Starbase this turn. Four cards, study Namnamud? Sure, why not? Oh, I guess I'm overspending because I don't have a way of getting to 10. Oh well. Still happy to get rid of cards from under the starbase because we are shuffling soon. We have a lot of fleets in science. But we do need the fleets in order to even have that, so. I guess I want to get rid of the science cards, although this is overspending, but let's get rid of those. Actually, before I do that, not the worst. Alright, so that gets me Ocean 1, which will also put their influence back in the deck, makes the reshuffle thicker, as long as I don't gain too many cards from the deck during the results phase, of which they are gaining 1 from the influence, so you have to be mindful of that. So, in particular, if I gain fleets, we're going to reshuffle with too many cards. What about the cash? What can we do? Diplomacy 2? If I'm not going to use the materials, I should put the 6 in. We're not confronting because 5 is too big. I guess I can roll this first and see. Can I confront now instead? 33 is a big number. Yeah, we're at 22. Plus I have to cash another die. I could just put this 3 in. It's not like... Like, if I do confront, we will be able to put more dice in anyway. So maybe I should put the 3 in. Let's do that. I could work on Chelonis. This will put fleets back. I won't get the milestone, but it will put dice back in the deck, which will make the reshuffle thicker. So why not? And let's avoid getting fleets and signs this turn as much as we can, so... No dice of value 6. Well, that's just rude. Oh, but I guess, like, influence also takes cards away from the deck, so I don't really want to do that either. Especially because if I put too many influence on, I'm not going to get the Ocean 1 influence back in the deck. Yikes. So this 2 is a card, this is a card. I can add... No, I can't even add 1 influence. I pass. I guess I'm only getting 2 cards back in the deck if I only do this. It's not super great. I feel like I'd rather make more progress in the game. I would rather make more progress in the game. I can actually spend a fleet to do this. Yay. I can even spend 1 more fleet and that puts a card back in the deck. If desired. I don't think there's anything wrong with like studying Flutara because it's not going in the new draw pile anyway. So might as well like study that. I have 2 dice left over that I'm not doing anything with, which kind of sucks. I don't want to gain any more influence than that. I guess this is already too many. Right, yeah, so I might as well do something more than... Okay. Let's get the extra influence on Futara. Although I was going to study it, so maybe that doesn't even do anything. Yeah, whatever. Let's gain the fleets. Let's make the deck as thin as possible, and contrary to what I just said. Alright. A die cannot be cashed unless it is higher than the number of revealed adversary events. Well, this. It's not like I can store it anyway. Ah. Cool. So we can't cache ones anymore, is what that means. Okay, let's start by thinking about this. We can cache 2. Let's cache the big numbers so we can get them back next turn. Can get another Federation level. Definitely can't confront. I don't know why it says that partial effects. I do have 2 fuels. Like, I did it to max effect. You lie. Okay, do we want to resolve 2 rows? Like, do we need to, in particular, resolve 2 rows, is what I mean. We can get Vo with this. It'll give us Diplomacy 6. Colonus, we have to spend a fleet and then gain this, so it doesn't really matter if I were to repeat a thing. I guess at some point I'm going to not need as many skills because I'm already gonna have 5 activated techs this round, so I'd rather start taking colonies actually. Like, I need more dice. Plus, I don't need the diplomacy as much as I need the energy. So I guess I'm taking that colony. Hematib, we could place 4 science down twice and then claim it in 1 turn. Probably again taking the colony if I were to do that. Roll isn't great for that, but we can spend fleets to get that. I don't have enough things, never mind. In which case I don't want to spend the fleets, because why waste the fleets? Unless we're doing a reshuffle. I don't want to necessarily get that row anyway this turn. Starburger, don't care for. So these 2 colonies are claimed. Or sorry, locations are claimed. In terms of other things, we could claim Hematib and Starburger. Could also gain 6 fleets. If that gains 6 fleets, then we will have 12 fleets next round, so that's actually good. Okay. So Federation, or sorry, Diplomacy 6 is fine. I want the energy and the tech disc. Okay. We're still only claiming 3 dice back. Sorry, no, there is 10 dice in there. We'll be claiming 3 back. Artisanal Ultra Tech is here. So let's take the big numbers. And now we can confront maybe. But before we do that, let's see what other things are. We have 6 things across everything, so that's fine. Unless I want to gain this. Actually, let's gain the thing first. All right, 12 fleets accomplished. 5 activated techs will also accomplish this turn. I don't know I necessarily want to do that. We could do mobile laboratories. This can do a study now, which is cool. We can get to Starbase Class 4. Pretty cool. Oh, actually, that tech is not as good because I don't have enough diplomacies. I have 5 here, 2 there. I can only roll. I will not gain the 2 3s. Unless I spend 2 of them on something. I can resolve 2 rows and get the dice back, is what that means. I don't think it's the dice back, but rather they go back in the pool in the supply, and I can gain them with a different tech. No identical dice, eh? I do want to make sure I can. Okay, so let's see. Let's see what we can get with the overload grid, and then figure out the remaining dice. I don't want to waste so many dice on the locations when I could instead confront, which I do want to do. So like that's the minimum dice for confronting. These can be used for other things if so desired. I can definitely spend the 4 science twice. I do need to put a diplomacy 3 in, which I don't really have unless I guess I have so many fleets, I might as well do this. I no longer need the fleets because we hit that milestone at last. Might as well put those cards back in the deck. And we want to do this twice. Anything else we would like to do twice? Starburger is probably just gonna get studied. Ice cream. Probably just gonna get studied. Twenso. Artisanal Ultra Tech is fine, but we don't have the 6s. I mean, if we do Wide Beam Network, we do get 2 Diplomacy 3s. So that does take a 6 out of this, so I could put that one there. I could probe this up. I could do this row twice, that would be nifty. So let's see. Let's resolve that row and that row. And spend the other 4 science. Let's do this now. No, I still didn't spend the 2 3s that I was going to. Or sorry, the 2 diplomacies. I don't even have that many diplomacies I can spare. So that's just gonna whiff. I also have only 1 tech left. Which does mean I have to be careful that I can actually hit the 33. Which I guess I could just calibrate to hit. If I miss. I guess I can kind of, well, if I use these to get an Ultra Tech, that loses 2 on this square. But then I get a 3 out of that, so it profits 1. Although I'm not sure actually if I can gain 2 3s. Might say if I can't do it, I won't gain any. So let's do it. Let's have fun. Let's do it. Let's see if it works. And then do this and see if that works. Okay, no, it does. It does give me partial dice, and that 6 was sick. Means I didn't even need to do the thing. All right, no more Starbase discs, no more tech discs, no more dice. Confronted. Getting hematib. Okay. Let's not study. Hematib is back! Alright. We have 4 tech discs, 3 starbase discs. We have 6 techs. Only one of these requires science, so it's not bad. So we could do the full thing. We could even spend 2 fleets to roll 2 diplomacies and an ultra tech, although I think the 6 is probably better. In case, let's do the rolls first. This is going to cause a reshuffle. This, if it studies, doesn't cause a reshuffle. And I have no diplomacies left, so I should probably burn them. Either by noble efficiency to get them back, or by converting and getting ultra techs. And also we have to decide what we're caching. We do have a 3, I guess we could use. I think I do want to do the 2 fleets for dice, because that will get rid of the fleets in the starbase, which will make the reshuffle thicker. It's a 21 card reshuffle, so it is really thin. And I probably don't want to cover anything other than Twenso. If I can, yeah, I can just do it like this. Because any other influence will do the reshuffle early, so I kind of want to avoid that. So let's turn these into an Ultra Tech. And then spend the fleets to roll a bunch. Was that helpful? I don't know. We can put an Ultra Tech 2 in there instead of the Diplomacy 3. Why not? Keep the diplomacies free. And let's calibrate these because why not? Thicker deck. And then every other die in here. 41, 43, 44. Oh, not 44? I thought it was 44. I don't know how to count. So that's 44. So I have 3 left over. So I want to avoid doing the reshuffle until these cards are back in the supply, I think. Plus, if I reveal the adversary event, it will resolve immediately, whereas if it happens during time passes, then I'll have an extra turn to deal with it. And I don't think the, I guess I could study Hematib. I don't think I really want to have those things. So let's go ahead and study Hematib, so it's at least something. Artisanal Ultra Tech at this point is fine. Study that. I do need to get my Federation level up. Again. So either spend 7... Oh, I haven't done 5 activated techs yet. I thought I would have done it last turn, but I guess I didn't. I could also spend 7 tech discs, which I only have 4, but I can use Starbase discs as tech discs because of the rules. Using 5 techs seems better because that gives me actual benefits. So let's do the 5. Let's do that one. Do that one. Okay. Those numbers are icky. Let's convert these to Ultra Tech. And let's roll a bunch more. Okay. Let's get more roll. Because I'm on a roll, but all right. One more tech and we get the Federation level. Let's gain the fleets. Yay! We can win the game. So 6. Then probably calibrate this to a 6. And then every other die. $33, $36, $39, $42, $45, $48, $51, $54, $56. And putting no dice in the cash. I can actually put 1 die in the cash. But all the others are needed to hit that. I suppose not really, because I could just calibrate. It doesn't matter because we won. We can spend a Federation or an adversary disc to not get overwhelmed. But if we want to just do this for shits and giggles. Okay. We win. Your Federation has found success in their own way. Social media be gone. Cool beans. 2 more victories in 1 deck galaxy. I suppose that means I should probably consider playing harder. The mathematician's game was definitely a more thought-provoking one than the scientist's game, weirdly. Maybe by design. But you know, it is a cool thing about these games in that you're very focused on your, basically your achievements. The milestones are sort of like achievements, I guess. Your goal is to get as many achievements as you can. Basically, it's like playing a Steam game. You want to get all the achievements. But yeah, that worked. Yeah, the mathematician's milestones are definitely way more, you have to be way more focused on them than like basically the other societies. Like, hey, activate 4 techs, or activate 5 techs, or spend 7 tech discs. What if instead you have to get 15 influence on locations, or have 11 science and 11 fleets, or discard dice totaling exactly 66? Yikes. Alright, well, I will be done for this week. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed your stay. Check out the other streams we have on this channel. Every Friday at 4 p.m. is Luck of the Seamus with Seamus the Hug Monster. Every Sunday at 1 p.m. is Spirit Island Sundays with usually myself and usually Seamus. Every Tuesday at 7 p.m. is Handelabra Live with John, who sometimes demos content before it is publicly available. Handelabra products include Sentinels of the Multiverse, Sentinels of Earth Prime, Bottom of the Ninth, One Deck Dungeon, One Deck Galaxy, Aeon's End, Spirit Island, and Horizons of Spirit Island, all available on Steam, iOS, and Android devices. One Deck Dungeon is also available on Switch, and I think technically One Deck Galaxy is only on Steam. I should probably clarify that. Yeah, it was fun. Hope you got something out of that. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.